Okay, so we will do, you do it on page 324, divide evenly. All right, so let's do a new program. File, new, Java. Okay, I'll make it bigger. Let me clear this out, put this, make it smaller there. We'll go there. Okay, so the class is going to be called what? Divide evenly? Public class divide evenly. Spell it right. Open curly, close curly. This will be a main class that'll run. So again, we're going to have a public static void main, right? Public static void main string args. No, I don't want that. I want that. Okay. I'll make it bigger so you can see it better there. All right, I'm going to save it, divide evenly, and it's probably going to overwrite for me. Yep, I'll just save over my current one. Okay. So there's our structure as usual. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some variables, just a couple simple ones. We're going to hit a static one, final. It's going to be integer static, and this is going to be called limit. Remember again, when you do static variables, usually you like to capitalize them, all caps. That's just kind of best practice. Again, because then you see it throughout the program, you'll see it's capitalized, and for the most part, it's like that. Some people will do something like this. They'll say F limit like that. F means it's a final, right? Just so you're aware. So you might see different syntax. That's what that means. Um, and then int recurring var, we're not initializing it. They don't want to initialize it. Fine. All right, we're going to create a statement that explains the program, which is fine. System.out. Print, is it line? No, it's a print. What do I want to say? Limit. Limit, which is what we just created, is what is evenly divisible by quotes. Boom. Okay. So that's our program. And then what we're going to do, so what it's going to do is it's going to throw 100 here. So right away, this should say 100 is evenly divisible by, and you're going to create a for loop. And the idea is, with the for loop, is it's going to check every number. And then it's going to tell you, and that's what the for loop does, because it goes one by one. Now you could do it manually, and you could do, is 100 evenly divisible by 100? Is it evenly divisible by 99, by 98? How are they doing it? It's starting at 1 and they're going up to 100. So like, is 100 divisible by 100 by 1? Is 100 divisible by 2? All right? So that's what's going on. So what I would do is, here's some pseudocode. All right? Here's your pseudocode. Is it divisible? Right? Basically, does it go into 100 is what it is. And you want an even number, right? That's what that means, right? You remember that from your math? Okay. Here, I'll do it this way. Does it divide evenly into 100, right? Get number, right? Is it, and then you do the equation, okay? So what they do is they have you take the modulus of it and then see if there's a remainder. You remember the modulus? We did that once before. Because a modulus remainder. If you have a zero remainder, it means it's even. Yeah, there's no remainder, which means it divided evenly. That's all it is. So get modulus of number by 100, roughly, let's say something like that, right? And then if modulus is 0, then yes, right? Else, no. Something like that. There's your pseudocode. We talked about pseudocode before. If you don't have an idea, you kind of just break it down in words, just sentences, just kind of like that. Just break it down like that, okay? That's the best way to do it. We're on, it's 324. No, thank you. But thank you. Um, part of understanding the problem is a big part of being able to write the program. If you don't understand the logic behind what you're supposed to do, you can't write the program. It's impossible, right? I do this all the time. I will scribble out something. It doesn't have to be on here like this. It doesn't have to be fancy. Use crayons and construction paper. I don't care. Whatever works for you. If you want to use little figurines and you want to do that, you have little battles where you figure out what's going on, you can do that. It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you. So this is my thought process for this. So I'm like, okay, cool. Does it divide? So first thing, so as far as getting the number, we're going to do a whole bunch of them. You could do it once and then be done, right? We don't want to do it once. The idea is we want to do it a number of times, and so we're going to have a loop set up to do it, so we can keep doing it, right? And that's what the book is doing. So what does the book do? The book is going to get this, and we use the for statement to go through. Say for, like so. What are we doing? Var. Now here's the thing. And we're going to set var is equal to 1. I can do var equal to 1 because what? I declared var up here as an integer. So I can do that. So var is 1, that's my first parameter. While var is what? Less than or equal to what? Limit. So I'm going to have it go up there. Now, if you want to test it out, you can have it go up to 10, whatever you want to. Sometimes I do that. Just test it out. And then plus plus var. You're going to increment it. Okay? Oops, don't do that. Sorry. Now, the book doesn't have this, but I do this. Okay? The book doesn't have the curly braces, but remember I told you about this before? I said you always want to have, so like again, if you look at the book, it says no. So I'm going to go in there, I'm going to go in a loop, and then I'm going to say what? If what? If the limit, oh no. Okay. So if the limit equals 0. So in this for loop, you're going to check to see if the modulus, if the remainder of what the limit, which is 100, divided by the var. So it's 100 basically divided by 1. Does that equal 1? You know, so it's going to keep doing it. 100 by 1 is 1 divisible, is 2 divisible, is 3 divisible, blah, blah, blah. I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm just trying to make it obvious. And if it is, now here you can do one line if you want, and we could probably do that just for sake of time because we're going to run out of time. System.out.print, and we're just going to print var, and we're going to print, they just want us to print, oh, space. I actually did a space there, okay? So we're going to print out the actual var, which number? It'll be a 1, 2, 3, whatever the case, and then space, because you're going to have it go. Now, there's other ways you can make it look nicer, but for right now, we're just going to spit this out. And that's kind of the idea. Okay? And then that. So now what they want you to do is, actually, I want you to do like this. We'll just see how this looks, and we can play with it. All right, that's it. So I'm gonna compile this, which I didn't do earlier, which I'm kind of getting out of my habit. And let's run it and see what happens. If I run this, and that's what you get. So what it does is it looks at it, it gets the first one, 1, 2, 3 wasn't, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 were not. And that's all that's happening. Okay? Not super exciting, but again, I'm able to do this really quickly. This is the whole idea. Can you imagine doing it manually? It'd be a real pain in the butt. And you can do that. And if you're not sure or anything you want to, you can always do a print in here to see what it's getting, right? And it'll tell you each time.